Have you ever noticed that the harder you chase a shadow, the faster it runs? Have you ever wondered why the very things you pray for, long for, and lose sleep over seem to stay just beyond the reach of your fingertips? It's a strange, quiet cruelty, isn't it? You visualize, you affirm, you build altars to your desires, and yet the more you want it, the more it feels like the universe is folding itself away from you. What if I told you that your hunger is the very thing keeping you empty? What if the secret to having everything you've ever wanted is to stop needing it to exist? Take a breath. For a moment, just listen. We are taught from birth that life is a conquest, that to get what you want, you must hunt it. You must demand it. You must exert your will upon the fabric of reality until it bends to your whim. But reality doesn't bend. It reflects. Imagine you are standing in front of a mirror. You want the person in the mirror to smile. So you reach out. You grab the glass. You try to force the corners of that reflection's mouth upward with your hands. What happens? The reflection resists. It looks distorted, strained, violent. The reflection cannot smile until the source smiles first. When you want something with intensity, when you feel that deep, aching pull of desire, what is the signal you are actually sending? Underneath the hope, underneath the vision board, there is a silent, vibrating frequency of lack. By saying, "I want," you are shouting to the universe, "I do not have." And the universe, being a perfect, impartial mirror, simply nods and says, "Correct, you do not have." It gives you more of the state you are in. If you are in a state of wanting, it gives you more wanting. It keeps you in the chase, because the chase is what you are vibrating. Think about the last time you were desperate for a phone call, or a job, or a person to love you back. Remember that heavy, knotted feeling in your solar plexus. That was the feeling of a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum, but in the realm of consciousness, a vacuum is a repellent. When you approach reality with a need, you are coming from a place of poverty. You are a beggar at the gates of your own kingdom. But you were never meant to be a beggar. Alan Watts once spoke of the backwards law. The idea that when you try to stay on the surface of the water, you sink. But when you try to sink, you float. When you pursue happiness, it eludes you. When you pursue peace, it vanishes. This is because the act of pursuit implies that the thing you seek is over there, somewhere else, in a future that hasn't happened yet. By looking for it, you are literally looking away from where it actually lives. Take a moment. Look at your hands. Feel the weight of your body in the chair. In this exact microsecond, do you want for anything? Or are you simply here? There is a profound difference between a preference and a dependency. A preference says, "It would be lovely if this happened." A dependency says, "I cannot be whole until this happens." The moment your desire becomes a dependency, you have handed the keys to your internal peace to a ghost. You have anchored your soul to a phantom event that may or may not occur. And in doing so, you create a tension, a psychic push that the quantum field feels. Think of reality as a pool of still water. Your desire is like a stone thrown into that pool. If you throw it with force, with desperation, you create massive ripples. The water becomes turbulent. The reflection of the trees, the sky, and the stars becomes distorted and broken. You can no longer see the truth because you are too busy disturbing the surface. To see clearly, to allow the reflection to settle into the image you desire, you must stop throwing stones. You must become the stillness. In quantum physics, there is the concept of the observer effect, the idea that the mere act of observing a particle changes its behavior. When you observe your life through the lens of not enough, You collapse the infinite wave of possibilities into a single, dismal particle of lack. You are literally observing your desires out of existence. Every time you check your bank account with fear, you are reinforcing the reality of the numbers you see. Every time you look in the mirror and wish you were different, you are commanding your cells to remain exactly as they are. You are the architect of the prison, and your desire is the lock. So, how do we unlock it? We have to understand the nature of the void. Most of us spend our lives trying to fill the holes in our hearts with things, people, and status. We think if we just get the right car, the right partner, the right amount of praise, the hole will disappear. But the hole is an illusion. It's like trying to fill a shadow with light by throwing objects at it. The objects just pass through. The only way to eliminate a shadow is to change the position of the light. The light is your attention. Where is your light pointed right now? Is it pointed at the missing parts of your life? Is it focused on the not yet and the if only? If so, you are feeding the shadow. You are giving it substance. Carl Jung once said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Your unconscious mind doesn't understand the word no. It doesn't understand the concept of I don't want this. It only understands focus. If you are constantly worried about being lonely, your subconscious hears loneliness, loneliness, loneliness. It then goes out into the world and filters your reality to find evidence of that loneliness. It closes your eyes to the people smiling at you in the street. It makes you stay home when you should go out. It aligns your physical world with your internal frequency. To change the world, you must first change the frequency of the observer. This isn't just positive thinking. Positive thinking is often just a thin layer of icing on a cake made of mud. You can't lie to the universe. You can't trick the mirror. It knows what you feel. It doesn't care what you say. The shift happens when you move from desiring to being. Imagine for a second that you already have the thing you want. Truly imagine it. Don't look at the thing. Feel the relief of having it. What does your breath feel like when the struggle is over? How do your shoulders drop when you no longer have to make it happen? That feeling, that quiet, calm sense of it is done, is the only language the universe speaks fluently. When you sit in that feeling, the push stops. The tension evaporates. You are no longer chasing the shadow. You have become the sun. And when you are the sun, the shadows have no choice but to fall behind you. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about the trap of the future. We live in a culture that worships the horizon. We are told that one day we will arrive. We will graduate, we will get married, we will retire, we will be enlightened. But the horizon is a mathematical trick. It doesn't exist. The further you walk toward it, the further it recedes. If your desire is located in the future, it will stay in the future. Because future is a state of mind, not a point in time. If you are a person who is going to be happy, you will always be going to be happy. You will never be happy. The wanting mind is like a donkey chasing a carrot on a stick attached to its own head. The faster the donkey runs, the faster the carrot moves. The only way for the donkey to eat the carrot is to stop running and realize that the stick is an extension of its own being. This is the great paradox of awakening. The things you want are already here, in a state of potential. But as long as you are reaching for them, you are keeping them at arm's length. Think of a magnet. If you have two magnets with the same pole facing each other, they push away. No matter how hard you try to force them together, there is an invisible wall. Your desire, when born from lack, has the same pole as the reality of lack. Push, push, push. To attract, you must flip the magnet. You must become the opposite pole. If you want love, you must become a source of love, not a seeker of it. If you want wealth, you must become a source of value and abundance, not a hoarder of it. You must act as if the vacuum is already filled. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? The idea that the more you care, the more you fail. It goes against everything we were taught in school, in sports, and in the marketplace. We were told that burning desire is the fuel of achievement. But there is a subtle, invisible line between intention and attachment. Intention is like an arrow shot from a bow. You aim, you pull back the string, and you release. Once the arrow is in the air, you let it go. You don't run after it, trying to push it toward the target with your hands. Attachment is when you refuse to let go of the string. You hold on so tight that the arrow never leaves the bow, or it wobbles and falls at your feet. In the world of transurfing, there is a concept called excess potential. Imagine you are walking across a wooden plank that is lying on the grass. It's easy, right? You walk across it without a second thought. You don't stumble. You don't sweat. Now, imagine that same wooden plank is suspended 100 feet in the air between two skyscrapers. Suddenly, your desire to not fall becomes overwhelming. You are gripped by the importance of the situation. Every muscle in your body tenses up. Your heart races. And because of that intense pressure, that excess potential, you are actually much more likely to trip. When you give a goal too much importance, you create a psychic imbalance. You are telling the universe that this one thing is so monumental, so vital to your existence, that you cannot be okay without it. This creates a high-pressure zone in your consciousness. And just like in weather systems, nature always moves to equalize pressure. It sends a storm to bring you back down to earth. Usually, that storm looks like an obstacle, a delay, or a complete failure. The universe isn't trying to punish you. It's trying to balance you. It's trying to remind you that you are already whole, even without the skyscraper plank. So, how do we lower the importance? We have to learn the art of indifference. Not a cold, cynical indifference, but a holy indifference. It is the ability to say, I would love for this to happen, but if it doesn't, I am still the infinite. Think about the most charismatic person you've ever met. Were they leaning forward, desperately trying to get you to like them? Were they laughing too hard at your jokes, or constantly checking to see if you were impressed? No. They were likely relaxed. They were at home in their own skin. They didn't want your approval because they already had their own. That lack of wanting is exactly what made them so attractive. They weren't pushing you away with their neediness. They were creating a space where you felt invited to join them. This is the secret of the natural. The great athletes, the great artists, the great lovers, they all operate from a place of flow. Flow is what happens when the ego, the part of you that wants, finally gets tired and goes to sleep. When the ego sleeps, the soul wakes up. And the soul doesn't want. The soul is. Let's look at the science of this for a moment. Deep inside your brain, there is a cluster of nerves called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. The RAS is your internal gatekeeper. It filters out the millions of bits of data coming at you every second, and only lets in what it thinks is important. If you are obsessed with not having enough money, your RAS is programmed to find every sold out sign, every rising price, and every bill in the mail. It literally hides the opportunities from you. It blinds you to the side hustle idea, the chance meeting, or the creative solution. You are so focused on the lack that you are biologically incapable of seeing the plenty. You are like a man standing in a rainstorm with an umbrella held upside down, complaining that he is thirsty. To change what the RAS sees, you have to change the command. But you can't change the command by shouting at it. You change it by shifting your state of being. Consider the metaphor of the butterfly. If you chase a butterfly through a field, it will always stay one step ahead of you. It is light, agile, and sensitive to the vibration of your pursuit. The more you run, the more it flies. But if you sit down quietly in the grass, if you become still, if you become part of the garden, the butterfly may eventually come and land on your shoulder. The butterfly is your reality. The chase is your desire. Most people spend their entire lives running through the field, exhausted, wondering why the garden is so empty. They don't realize that they are the ones making the garden a place of stress. Take a deep breath. Feel the air entering your lungs. That air is a gift. You didn't have to want it. You didn't have to earn it. It was simply there, waiting for you to receive it. What if your dreams were like that air? What if the only reason you aren't breathing them in is because you are holding your breath, trying to prove how much you need them? We live in a doing culture. We are rewarded for effort. We are praised for the grind. But the grind is often just a mask for fear. We grind because we don't trust. We work 80 hours a week because we are terrified that if we stop, everything will fall apart. We are trying to micromanage the universe. Imagine you are a passenger on a massive cruise ship. You want to get to the destination faster. So you go down to your cabin and you start pushing against the wall of the ship. You push until you're sweating. You push until your muscles ache. You think the ship is moving any faster? No. The ship is moved by engines you can't see, fueled by a power you didn't create. Your only job is to be on the ship. Your only job is to enjoy the journey and trust the captain. In this life, the captain is your higher consciousness. The engines are the laws of vibration and attraction. When you push, you aren't helping the ship move. You're just making yourself tired. And more importantly, you're missing the view from the deck. The great philosopher Lao Tzu called this Wu Wei, action through inaction. It doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing everything with the effortlessness of nature. Does a flower try to bloom? Does the sun try to shine? The flower doesn't wake up and think, I really hope I can turn pink today. I need to focus really hard on my petals. It simply unfolds because that is its nature. It is in alignment with the season, the soil, and the light. When you are in alignment with your true self, your desires become unfoldings. They stop being things you are trying to get and start being things you are allowing to happen. But there is a catch. To reach this state, you have to face the ultimate shadow, the ego's fear of its own insignificance. The ego loves desire because desire keeps the ego alive. As long as you want something, the I exists. I want that car. I want that person. If you stop wanting, who are you? If you are completely content in this moment, the ego begins to dissolve. It loses its grip. And for many of us, that feels like a kind of death. This is why we sabotage our own peace. This is why, when things finally start to go well, we find something new to worry about. We are addicted to the tension. We are addicted to the problem. Because the problem gives us a sense of identity. It gives us a story to tell. I'm the person who is struggling to find love. I'm the person who is working hard to build a business. We fall in love with the struggle, and then we wonder why the struggle won't leave us. We are the ones keeping the door locked from the inside. Take a moment to look at your big desire. That one thing you think would finally make you happy. Now ask yourself, who would I be without this desire? Not who would I be if I had it, but who would I be if the wanting was gone? If you can find a version of yourself that is happy, peaceful, and whole without that thing, that is the exact moment the thing is free to come to you. Because you have finally removed the push. You have removed the importance. You have become a neutral in the field of polarity. And in the world of quantum reality, the neutral point is the point of infinite power. It is the 0 point, the place where all possibilities exist simultaneously. When you sit in the 0 point, you are no longer a hunter. You are the destination. Think about the people who have made it in life. Almost all of them will tell you the same story. I worked and I struggled for years. I was desperate. I was miserable, and then finally, I just gave up. I decided I didn't care anymore. I went on vacation. I took up a hobby. I stopped trying. And that's when the breakthrough happened. Why? Because they finally stopped pushing the ship. They finally let the excess potential drain away. They lowered the importance to 0, and the universe, no longer needing to balance them, was free to deliver the result. This is the hidden trap. The trap is believing that your effort is what creates your reality. Your effort doesn't create. Your vibration creates. Effort is what you do when you don't trust your vibration. It's like trying to fix a song by screaming at the speakers. You don't fix the song at the speaker level. You fix it at the source. You change the record. What record are you playing right now? Is it the record of I need, I want, I lack? Or is it the record of I am, I have, I give? The difference is only a few inches in your heart, but it is a million miles in your reality. Let's look closer at the garden of your mind. Imagine you have planted a seed. It's a seed of your deepest longing, a career, a soulmate, a healing. What do most of us do the moment that seed is in the ground? We pace. We worry. We check the soil every 10 minutes. We dig it up just to see if the roots are starting to take hold. And in our frantic wanting for the plant to grow, we kill the life within it. We don't trust the dark. We don't trust the silence of the earth. We don't trust that the universe knows how to turn a seed into a tree without our constant supervision. Your desire is that seed, but your neediness is the hand that keeps digging it up. True creation requires a period of gestation, a time when the thing you want must be allowed to be not here, so that it can eventually be here. If you cannot make peace with the absence of your desire, you will never allow its presence. This is the hardest lesson for the human ego to swallow. The ego wants to see results now. It wants proof. It wants a receipt. But the spirit understands that proof is the enemy of faith. When you demand proof, you are admitting that you don't believe. And if you don't believe, the mirror of reality has nothing to reflect back to you but your own doubt. Think about the way you breathe. You don't panic after every exhale, wondering if the next inhale will come. You don't want the air with a desperate, clenching fear. You simply release, and the air rushes back in to fill the space you created. Your life works the same way. The exhale is the act of letting go of your desire. The inhale is the universe rushing in to fill that vacuum with the reality you've invited. If you refuse to exhale, if you hold onto your desire, clenching your teeth, refusing to let it go, you will eventually suffocate. The very thing you are holding onto becomes the thing that kills your peace. We often confuse focus with tension. We think that if we stop thinking about our goal, it will disappear. We think that if we aren't hustling for it, we are being lazy. But there is a massive difference between a focused mind and a worried heart. A focused mind is like a laser. It is coherent, calm, and pointed. A worried heart is like a flickering candle in a windstorm. It is scattered, weak, and easily extinguished. The laser doesn't try to reach the wall. It simply is a beam of light that exists from the source to the destination simultaneously. When you visualize your future, are you looking at it, or are you looking from it? Most people look at their dreams. They see the house, the money, the person on a screen in their mind. This creates distance. It reinforces the idea that I am here, and the dream is there. But when you look from the dream, when you close your eyes and feel the texture of the steering wheel in that car, or the warmth of the hand you want to hold, the distance vanishes. In that moment, you are not desiring. You are experiencing. And the quantum field does not know the difference between an experience triggered by the outside world and an experience triggered by your internal state. It simply responds to the now. If you can inhabit the now of your dream for just 60 seconds, you have done more work than 60 hours of physical grinding. Because you have shifted your identity from a seeker to a possessor. But here is the secret most teachers won't tell you. You have to be okay with letting that feeling go. You have to be able to open your eyes, look at your current, perhaps humble reality and say, this is okay too. If you look at your current life with disgust or resentment, you are anchored to it. Resistance is a form of attachment. Whatever you fight, you fuel. If you hate being broke, you are vibrating broke with more intensity than a person who is simply indifferent to money. If you hate being alone, you are radiating loneliness like a beacon. To move away from a reality, you must first stop fighting it. You must give it permission to exist. You must look at your lack and say, thank you for what you have taught me. You are a valid part of the infinite, but I am choosing a different frequency now. This is what Eckhart Tolle calls non-resistance. It is the act of becoming like water. Water doesn't argue with the rock in the river. It doesn't desire to be past the rock. It simply flows around it, through it, and eventually over it. The rock doesn't move, but the water is gone. Your problems are the rocks. Your consciousness is the water. When you want your problems to go away, you are crashing against the rock. You are creating foam and noise, but you are staying in the same place. When you accept the rock, you are free to flow past it. Think about the concept of gratitude. We are often told to be grateful for what we have, but the real power lies in being grateful for what we don't have yet. Not as a trick to get it, but as a genuine recognition that in the realm of the infinite, it already exists. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. You cannot be truly grateful for something and want it at the same time. These two emotions cannot occupy the same space. Gratitude says, it is here. Desire says, it is missing. Which story are you telling the mirror today? Take a moment to think about the people in your life who seem lucky. The people for whom things just seem to fall into place. If you look closely, you'll notice they usually have a certain lightness about them. They don't seem to be trying very hard. They don't seem to be gripped by the throat by their ambitions. They have a sense of play. Reality loves to play. It is a cosmic game of hide and seek. When you take it too seriously, when you make it a matter of life and death, you ruin the game. You become the person at the party who is trying too hard to be funny. The more you try, the more the room goes silent. But when you relax, when you stop caring about the outcome, when you just enjoy the being, that's when the magic starts to leak through the cracks. There is a psychological term called the hyper-intention effect. It's what happens when you try so hard to fall asleep that you stay awake all night. It's what happens when you try so hard to be natural on a first date that you become a robot. Your conscious will is a clumsy tool. It's a hammer. But your life is not a nail. It's a symphony. You don't play a symphony by hitting the notes as hard as you can. You play it by trusting your fingers, trusting the sheet music, and letting the sound flow through you. The greatest barrier to your success is the person you think you need to be to achieve it. You think you need to be tougher, faster, smarter, or more deserving. You think you need to earn your way out of the struggle. But the universe doesn't have a ledger. It doesn't have a worthiness score. It only has a frequency match. The sun doesn't check to see if the flower deserves its light before it shines. It just shines. The flower doesn't have to prove it's a good flower to receive the light. It just opens. You are the flower. The universe is the sun. The only thing that can stop the light from reaching you is the roof you have built over your own head. And that roof is made of wanting. It is made of the belief that you are separate from the source of your good. Every time you say, "I want," you are adding another brick to that roof. Every time you say, "I am," you are taking a brick away. Think about your desire one more time. Visualize it not as a distant goal, but as a garment you are already wearing. Feel the fabric of it. Feel the warmth of it. And then take it off. Set it aside. Go for a walk. Eat a meal. Talk to a friend. Forget about it. Trust that the garment is in your closet, waiting for the right season to be worn. When you can truly forget your desire, you have finally given it the freedom to arrive. You have removed the observer effect that was freezing the particle in place. You have allowed the wave to collapse into the form it was always meant to take. This is the path of the awakened one. It is not a path of gaining. It is a path of losing. Losing the fear. Losing the tension. Losing the small, shivering me that thinks it has to fight the whole world to survive. When that me is gone, what is left? Everything. Is it possible that you are actually afraid of getting what you want? Deep down, beneath the layers of affirmations and the fake it till you make it bravado, there is a part of you that is terrified of the change. Because if you actually had the life you say you want, you would have to leave the person you are currently being behind. You would have to abandon the comfort of your struggle. You would have to walk away from the identity of the underdog or the seeker. For many of us, the pursuit is a shield. As long as we are trying to get somewhere, we don't have to face the terrifying stillness of actually being there. We use desire as a way to postpone our own lives. "I'll be happy when" is the most effective way to ensure you are never happy now. It's a clever trick the ego plays to keep you in a state of perpetual motion. It keeps you running on a treadmill, looking at a beautiful landscape painted on the wall in front of you. But you never actually touch the grass. You never feel the wind on your face. You are just burning energy, staying in the same square foot of psychological space, while convinced that you are making progress. Think about the concept of the observer. In the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics, the observer doesn't just see reality, they participate in its creation. But here is the nuance. If the observer is looking for something specific, they are also choosing not to see everything else. By obsessing over one specific outcome, one specific version of success, you are effectively putting blinders on your soul. You are telling the universe, "I only want the light if it comes through this one specific window." Meanwhile, the universe is trying to tear down the walls and give you the whole sky. But you're too busy patching the cracks in your window, making sure it's clean enough for the right kind of light to enter. Your desire has become a limitation. It has become a tiny, cramped box that you are trying to force the infinite to fit inside. Take a breath and feel the weight of that box. Feel how heavy it is to carry around a specific vision of how your life should be. That should is the sound of reality being pushed away. Every time you say it should be like this, you are rejecting what is. And what is the only place where power actually exists. You cannot plant a garden in the future. You cannot paint a masterpiece in the past. You can only act, vibrate, and create in the thin, razor edge of the present moment. When you desire, you are mentally living in a not yet. You are siphoning your energy away from the now and sending it to a phantom. Is it any wonder you feel drained? Is it any wonder reality feels thin and unresponsive? You are literally not home to receive the delivery. Imagine you ordered a package, but you spent all day standing at the end of the driveway, miles away from your house, looking for the mail truck. The mail truck arrives at your front door, sees no one is home, and drives away. Your house is your presence. The package is your intention. Stop standing in the driveway of the future. Come back inside. Sit in the quiet of your own being. This is what the Zen masters call sitting quietly, doing nothing. Spring comes, and the grass grows by itself. It sounds too simple to be true. Our modern minds, addicted to complexity and hustle, find this idea offensive. We want to believe that our suffering is the price of our success. We want to believe that the self-made man is a hero who conquered reality through sheer force of will. But if you look at the lives of those who have truly mastered the art of living, you will see a different story. You will see a story of surrender. Not a surrender of defeat, but a surrender of cooperation. They stopped trying to be the conductor of the orchestra and realized they were the music itself. When you realize you are the music, you stop worrying about the next note. You trust that the song knows where it's going. You allow the melody to play through you, rather than trying to hum it into existence. Consider the shadow self that Carl Jung described. Your shadow is everything about yourself that you have pushed into the basement because it didn't fit your ideal image. Often, your deepest desires are actually attempts to escape your shadow. You want wealth because you are afraid of the poor part of your soul. You want fame because you are afraid of your own insignificance. You want a partner because you are afraid of the lonely person in the basement. But here is the secret. As long as you are trying to run away from the basement owns you. Your desire is just a leash, and the shadow is holding the other end. The harder you run toward the light of your desire, the more you are actually being controlled by the fear behind you. The universe senses this. It sees that your desire isn't a reaching for joy, it's a fleeing from pain. And because the universe is a mirror, it gives you more of the thing you are actually feeling, the flight, the fear, the avoidance. To break the cycle, you have to stop running. You have to turn around, walk down into the basement, and sit with the parts of yourself you've been trying to outrun with your goals. You have to say to your loneliness, I see you, you are allowed to be here. You have to say to your perceived failures, I see you, you are part of my story. The moment you accept the shadow, it loses its power to drive you. The leash snaps. And for the first time in your life, you are no longer pushing reality away because you are no longer trying to hide from yourself. You become solid. A solid object in a stream doesn't have to try to catch the water. The water has no choice but to interact with it. When you are psychologically and spiritually solid, when you are no longer fragmented by your needs, and your fear's reality begins to gather around you. It begins to conform to your presence. This is the shift from doing to being. In the doing state, you are a fragment of the universe trying to manipulate other fragments. In the being state, you are the universe itself, experiencing a temporary local focus. Think about a wave in the ocean. If the wave thinks it is a separate entity, it will spend its whole life desiring to reach the shore. It will fight the wind, it will worry about its size, and it will fear the moment it crashes and disappears. But if the wave realizes it is the ocean, its perspective changes. It realizes that reaching the shore is just a movement of its own body. It realizes that crashing isn't the end, but a transformation back into the depths. It stops wanting to be a big wave and starts enjoying being the sea. When you stop wanting to be the successful you, or the happy you, and start realizing you are the awareness in which both success and failure happen, you become the ocean. And the ocean doesn't lack anything. The ocean doesn't have desires. It has tides. Tides are not a reach for something missing. They are the natural, rhythmic movement of a system that is already full. What if your dreams were just the tides of your soul? What if they weren't things you had to go and get, but simply the way your vast, internal ocean naturally moves? If you view your goals as tides, you don't worry when the water recedes. You know it will come back. You don't panic when the shore is dry. You know the moon is doing its work. You live with a sense of inevitability. And inevitability is the most powerful frequency a human can inhabit. It is the frequency of the knower. A seeker asks. A knower allows. A seeker is always looking for signs. A knower is the sign. The seeker is always checking the clock, wondering when it's going to happen. The knower knows that time is just a tool we use to space out our experiences, so we don't get overwhelmed by the everything all at once. In the quantum, many worlds theory, every possible version of your life already exists in a state of superposition. There is a version of you that is wealthy, a version that is healed, a version that is at peace. They aren't in the future. They are here right now, vibrating at a different frequency. You don't create your reality. You tune into it. Like a radio, you don't make the music. You just align your dial with the station that is already broadcasting. But if your dial is stuck on the frequency of, I really hope I can find that station one day, you will only ever hear the static of the search. You have to turn the dial to the music before you can hear it. You have to inhabit the frequency of the version of you who already has what you want. And that person, the wealthy you, the loved you they aren't wanting. They aren't hoping. They are living. They are breathing. They are focused on the next thing. They have already moved past the desire. So to get there, you must move past the desire first. You must outgrow your goals before they can manifest. You must become so big, so whole, and so complete within yourself that the arrival of your dream feels like a footnote. Oh, the house finally arrived. That's nice. Now what's for lunch? That level of detached presence is the master key. It tells the universe that you are a safe place for abundance to land. Because you won't be crushed by it. You won't be defined by it. You won't turn it into another golden cage. You are free. And in the end, that is all the universe ever wanted for you. It didn't want to give you things. It wanted to give you yourself. But it couldn't give you yourself as long as you were looking for yourself in the things. It had to wait for you to stop. It had to wait for you to sit down in the grass and stop chasing the butterflies. It had to wait for you to realize that you are the garden. Think about the movie screen of your life. When you see a scene you don't like, a scene of scarcity, a scene of conflict, a scene of waiting, what is your first instinct? You want to run up to the screen. You want to scrub the image away with your bare hands. You want to repaint the characters, change the dialogue, and force the plot into a happy ending. But you can't change a movie by touching the screen. The screen is just a passive surface. It has no power. It is merely reflecting the light that is being projected from behind you. The projector is your subconscious mind. The film is your deepest, most habitual state of being. If the film is titled The Endless Pursuit, then the screen will always show you a horizon that never arrives. It doesn't matter how hard you work on the screen of the physical world. It doesn't matter how many people you try to convince or how many hours you grind. If you don't change the film in the projector, the movie will simply keep playing. You will find yourself in the same relationships with different faces. You will find yourself in the same financial patterns with different jobs. You are a master of set design, but you are failing as a director. To change the movie, you have to turn around. You have to walk back into the dark, quiet booth of your inner self and swap the reel. But the ego is terrified of the projection booth. In the booth, there is no one to blame. There are no obstacles to complain about. There is only the light and the film. This brings us to the trap of the how. When we desire something, our analytical mind immediately begins to build a bridge. It says, okay, if I want X, then I must do A, then B, then C. We become obsessed with the how. But the how is the domain of the infinite. Your limited human mind, as brilliant as it may be, can only see the paths that have already been walked. It can only calculate based on the past. When you insist on a specific how, you are literally closing the door on 1,000 miracles that your mind is incapable of imagining. You are telling the universe, I only want my dream if it comes through this tiny, difficult needle eye of my own planning. This is the ultimate form of pushing reality away. It's like trying to guide a massive river with a teaspoon. You're working so hard, and yet you're only getting in the way of the current. What if you let go of the teaspoon? What if you trusted that the river already knows the shortest path to the sea? Take a deep breath. Can you feel the relief in that thought? The relief of not having to figure it all out. This is what it means to live in the end. When you live in the end, the how becomes irrelevant. You aren't worried about the bridge because you are already on the other side. Imagine you are booking a flight to a beautiful island. Once you have the ticket, do you spend the next 3 weeks worrying about the aerodynamics of the plane? Do you pace your living room trying to figure out which air currents the pilot will use? No. You pack your bags. You buy some sunscreen. You start feeling like a person who is going on vacation. You inhabit the state of the traveler before you even leave your house. Your desire remains away from you because you haven't bought the ticket. You're still standing at the counter, arguing with the clerk about the flight path. You are so focused on the logistics that you have forgotten the destination. Emil Cow, a pioneer in the study of the subconscious, discovered something called the law of reversed effort. He found that when the will and the imagination are in conflict, the imagination always wins. If you will yourself to be wealthy, but your imagination is filled with pictures of bills and debt, the imagination will manifest the debt every single time. The harder you will it, the more tension you create, and the more the imagination digs its heels into the current reality. This is why the hustle often leads to burnout rather than breakthrough. You are trying to use your will to overpower your vibration. It's like trying to use a blowtorch to melt an iceberg. You might make a small dent, but the mass of the ice is governed by the temperature of the ocean around it. To melt the ice, you don't need more fire. You need to warm the ocean. The ocean is your mental diet. What are you saying to yourself when no one is listening? What is the background noise of your mind while you're brushing your teeth, or driving to work, or staring at your phone? Most of us have a constant dripping faucet of not enough, not yet, too late, what if? This internal dialogue is the real architect of your reality. You can spend an hour a day meditating on abundance, but if you spend the other 15 hours vibrating scarcity, which one do you think the universe is going to respond to? The universe is not listening to your prayers. It is listening to your assumptions. An assumption is a thought that you have given the status of truth. When you assume that life is hard, the universe says, your wish is my command. When you assume that I always get lucky at the last minute, the universe says, so be it. The push happens when your desire and your assumption are out of alignment. You desire health, but you assume sickness. You desire connection, but you assume rejection. This creates a static in your field. It's like trying to listen to two different radio stations at the same time. All you get is noise. To clear the noise, you have to choose a station and stay there. And that means you have to be willing to ignore the evidence of your senses. Neville Goddard, a profound mystic of the 20th century, spoke often about this. He said that to manifest a new reality, you must be asleep to the current one. If you are constantly looking at your bank account to see if your manifestation is working, you are proving that you don't believe it. If you are truly wealthy in your imagination, you don't check your balance with fear. You don't look for the money, because it's already there. The act of looking for it is a confession of its absence. Think about that for a moment. If you are looking for love, you are broadcasting the fact that you are unloved. And as long as you broadcast unloved, the mirror can only show you a lonely room. This is the forbidden knowledge that the marketplace doesn't want you to know. The marketplace wants you to stay in a state of wanting, because wanting drives consumption. A person who is whole in content is a bad consumer. They don't need the next gadget to feel significant. They don't need the next self-help book to feel fixed. The system is designed to keep you in the chase. It feeds you images of what you should want, and then it reminds you of how far away you are from having it. It creates a permanent state of spiritual hunger. But you cannot satisfy spiritual hunger with physical things. It's like trying to quench your thirst by eating salt. The only way to stop the hunger is to realize that the feast is already laid out. Look at the trees. Look at the stars. Look at the sheer complexity of a single cell in your body. Does any of this look like it was made by a scarce universe? Does it look like the creator of the cosmos is running out of atoms? Abundance is the natural state of the universe. Scarcity is a local human hallucination. We are like fish in the middle of the ocean, crying because we are thirsty. We are surrounded by the very thing we are looking for, but we can't see it because we have defined it as something that is over there. Stop. Just stop. Stop the striving. Stop the reaching. Stop the one day I will. Close your eyes. Feel the space around your body. That space is not empty. It is a field of infinite potential energy. It is the ether, the quantum foam, the body of God. Every dream you have ever had is already vibrating in that space. It is waiting for you to stop wanting it so it can finally be it. It is waiting for you to take off the armor of the struggler and put on the robes of the air. Think about the story of the prodigal son. The son didn't have to earn his father's forgiveness. He didn't have to work his way back into the inheritance. He just had to stop eating with the pigs. He had to remember who he was. He had to turn around and walk home. And the moment he was even a long way off, the Father ran to meet him. The Father is your higher reality. The pigs are your small, desperate desires and your beliefs in lack. The home is the state of I am. When you return to I am, not I will be, not I want to be, but I am, the entire universe runs to meet you. It puts a ring on your finger and a robe on your back. But you have to be willing to leave the pigs behind. You have to be willing to be wrong about how hard life is. You have to be willing to let go of the satisfaction of being a martyr. Many of us are secretly addicted to our own suffering. We use it as a badge of honor. We use it to get sympathy from others. But you cannot be a martyr and a master at the same time. The martyr wants. The master allows. Which one are you choosing in this moment? As you sit here, listening to these words, something is shifting. The tension in your jaw is loosening. The knot in your stomach is beginning to untie. You are starting to realize that the big, scary world is actually quite soft. You are starting to realize that reality is more like a dream than a machine. In a dream, if you want to fly, you don't build a plane. You just fly. You stop believing in the gravity that says you can't. Your desires have been your gravity. They have been the weight that kept you pinned to the ground of your current circumstances. By wanting so much, you made the world too heavy. Now let the weight go. Let the desire dissolve into knowing. Imagine you are standing on a mountaintop. You see your life spread out below you like a map. From this height, the obstacles look like tiny pebbles. The delays look like beautiful, winding rivers. You can see that every path eventually leads to the center. There is nowhere you can go that is not home. There is nothing you can do that can alienate you from the source. You have already won. You have already arrived. The chase was just a game you were playing with yourself to see how long you could pretend to be lost. But the sun is setting on the game now. It's time to come inside. The table is set. The lights are on. Everything you ever pushed away is standing at the door, waiting for you to finally stop holding it shut. All you have to do is let go of the handle. What if the most revolutionary act you could ever perform is to simply be content with what is? It sounds like a defeat. It sounds like giving up on your dreams. But in the strange, inverted logic of the soul, contentment is the ultimate power move. When you are content, you are no longer a customer of the universe. You are no longer looking for a bargain. You are no longer trying to trade your current moment for a better one. And in that state of non-trading, you become untouchable. Think about the air around you right now. You don't desire the next breath. You don't visualize oxygen entering your bloodstream. You don't have a vision board for your lungs. You simply allow the process to happen. You trust the exchange. What if your life's purpose, your career, your love, your legacy was as natural and as guaranteed as your next breath? If you truly believe that, would you still be clenching? Would you still be pushing? The clench is the signature of the ego. It is the feeling of a small, separate me trying to hold back the tide. But you are not the one holding the tide. You are the tide. Take a deep breath and feel that clench in your mind start to soften. There is a story often told in Eastern philosophy about a man who was looking for his shadow. He ran and he ran, trying to catch it, but it always stayed just a few feet ahead of him. He grew angry. He grew tired. He cursed the shadow for its speed. Finally, he sat down under a tree to rest, and as he sat in the shade, the shadow disappeared. It didn't go away. It simply merged with the larger shade of the tree. It became part of the stillness. Your desires are that shadow. Your effort is the running. The tree is your presence. When you sit in the shade of your own presence, your desires don't disappear, they simply stop being out there. They merge with your being. They become part of the background radiation of your life. And that is when they begin to manifest. Not because you caught them, but because you stopped running away from the place where they already exist. Think about the observer in the laboratory. If the physicist wants the electron to be a particle, it becomes a particle. If he wants it to be a wave, it becomes a wave. But what happens when the physicist leaves the room? The electron returns to its state of superposition. It becomes all things at once. When you want something, you are the physicist standing in the room, forcing reality to be this or that. You are collapsing the infinite possibilities into a single, narrow channel. But when you let go, when you leave the room of your own ego, reality returns to its state of infinite potential. It is free to be better than you imagined. It is free to arrive in ways your mind couldn't calculate. It is free to be whole. You have been taught that you are a creator, and you are. But you are not a creator who makes things out of nothing. You are a creator who allows things to emerge from the everything. The sculptor doesn't create the statue. He simply removes the stone that isn't the statue. Your life is the block of marble. Your desires are the vision of the masterpiece. But your wanting is not the chisel. Your presence is the chisel. Every time you release a fear, you are chipping away at the stone. Every time you let go of a need, you are revealing the form beneath. The masterpiece is already there. It has always been there. It is just waiting for you to stop adding more stone to the pile. Take a moment to look at your life through this lens. What would happen if you stopped adding? What if you stopped adding new goals, new worries, new identities, and new requirements for your happiness? What if you just started subtracting? Subtract the I need. Subtract the when. Subtract the how. What remains? What remains is the I am. The I am is the frequency of the universe itself. It is the home station. And on this station there is no lack. There is no distance. There is no time. There is only the eternal, shimmering now. In this now, you are already the person you've been trying to become. You are already as wealthy as the stars. You are already as loved as the earth. You are already as healthy as the light. You don't have to believe this for it to be true. You just have to stop believing the lies that say it isn't true. The hidden trap was never the world outside of you. It was the belief that you were outside of the world. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. When you truly understand this not as a thought, but as a vibration in your bones, the pushing stops. The chase ends. And the reality you've been seeking finally has a chance to catch up with you. Imagine yourself standing in a vast, open field. The sun is warm on your skin. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to do. The butterflies are landing on your shoulders. The birds are singing your name. The wind is whispering, "It is done, it is done, it is done." Can you hear it? Can you feel the shift? You are no longer a seeker. You are the found. You are no longer a wanter. You are the having. You are no longer a dreamer. You are the dream itself, waking up to its own power. Everything you ever wanted is right here, inside the breath you just took. Everything you ever pushed away is standing at the door, waiting for your permission to enter. All you have to do is say yes. Not yes, I want it. Just yes. To life. To the moment. To the you that exists right now, exactly as you are. Welcome back to Quantum Files. Awakening. We have traveled deep into the paradox of desire. We have seen how the clenching of the mind creates a wall that keeps our greatest dreams at bay. But knowledge without application is merely a ghost of wisdom. How do we take these quantum truths and weave them into the fabric of our daily lives? How do we use the power of non-resistance to manifest wealth, health, and true evolution? Listen closely. This is your blueprint for a new reality. On the frequency of wealth. Stop viewing money as something you must get. The moment you hunt for it, it senses your desperation and retreats. In the quantum field, wealth is like oxygen. You don't panic about your next breath because you know the air is already there. From now on, when you pay a bill, do not feel the sting of loss. That is the vibration of lack. Instead, feel the flow. Say to yourself, I am a conduit for abundance. As I give, I open the space to receive 10 times over. Lower the importance. When you stop making money your master, it finally becomes your servant. On the frequency of health. Your body is not a machine that needs fixing. It is a biological projection of your consciousness. If you spend your days wanting to be healed, you are telling your cells that they are currently broken. Shift your focus. Stop observing the pain and start observing the life. Every morning, find one part of your body that feels quiet, or strong, or alive. Focus on that sensation. Expand it. Live as if the healing is a finished work. A master doesn't ask for health. A master inhabits it. On the frequency of growth. True evolution is not about becoming someone better. It is about unbecoming everything that isn't you. The ego loves the struggle of the grind. It loves the story of the underdog. But the soul prefers the path of woo-why action through inaction. Do your work. Pursue your craft. But do it with the lightness of a child playing a game. If you win, you smile. If you lose, you smile. Because you know that no outcome can add to or subtract from the infinite being that you already are. Your daily quantum protocol. In the morning, do not reach for your phone. Reach for your being. Sit for 5 minutes in the silence of I am. Not I want to be, but I am. Feel the richness of the void. During the day, monitor the observer. When you feel the clench of stress or the burn of desire, stop. Exhale. Release the handle. Remind yourself, the ship is moving. I am just a passenger enjoying the view. In the evening, hand over the keys. Before you sleep, tell the universe, it is done. Release your goals into the dark. Trust that the garden grows by itself while you rest. If this resonance has reached you, if you feel the shift starting to move within your own life, then join us. Click the like button and leave a comment below saying, I choose peace over pursuit. Let that be your digital signature to the universe that you are ready to let go of the struggle. Subscribe to Quantum Files, Awakening, and turn on the notification bell. We are here to help you decode the language of the unseen and return to your original power. Remember, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean, in a single magnificent drop. Everything you have been pushing away is finally ready to come home. I'll see you in the next file.